Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Rustbelt Collector here, and today we are taking a look at a very surprising Star Wars Black Series 2-pack. Oddly enough, from the Gaming Greats line. I didn't realize that was still a thing. This 2-pack really feels like it came out of left field for a lot of people. I never expected to see the Commando mold reused again, and when I saw this first revealed, I genuinely thought it was like a fan edit. There's people that do, photoshops of different clones or characters they want to see in different toy lines, and so yeah, I kind of just saw this and went, yeah, that's just a cool fan edit. There's no way that Hasbro would actually go and use the Battlefront 2 Commando skin, and then they actually went and used the Battlefront 2 Commando skin. So of course, I had to pick it up, and here we are. We have the Clone Commando Urban Fighter and the B1 Battle Droid training skin. This is also a Battlefront 2 skin that you can unlock, and it's like the Clone Cadet training droids that you see in the Clone Wars. Now, to be fair, this isn't really a necessity for most collectors, but for me, being a fan of clones, I had to get it. It's really nice to see Star Wars Battlefront 2 making any appearance in this line. I'm very happy to see clones being represented, especially because they really dropped the ball with just doing a bunch of repaints for the game. They could have just basically printed money with those clones, but alas, they didn't, and I'm really glad to see it here at the very least. The packaging looks very sleek. This feels almost like it's going back to some of those early days of Black Series packaging. On the side here, we have this beautiful mural work done, the droid on the bottom, and the Urban Commando at the top, and honestly, this is a phenomenal realistic commando drawn here. If only the sculpt of this figure actually resembled this instead of what we actually got. On the back, there's a better view of the two murals. Those are just so phenomenal. I would love to see these as posters. Let's be real, these are beautifully done. But other than that, there's not a lot here to see. It is just standard Black Series packaging, and what's more interesting to me is what's in the package. And here it is, all out of the packaging, the amazing Urban Commando, and the slightly less interesting Training Battle Droid. Honestly, this is a fine combo to have here. I don't really have a lot to say about the Battle Droid. I definitely didn't buy it for the Battle Droid, and I really could care less that it's included, but for the sake of doing a full and complete review, we will talk about it here just briefly. It is the same mold that we've seen time and time again with Battle Droids. It's reused here very nicely. I don't see any issue with having a unique deco for this droid. It's just kind of a not really great redeco. Like, I would much prefer just having a battle-damaged Battle Droid, or possibly like an officer, or some other variant of the Battle Droid that we see in like actual combat, whereas this one we only ever see in the Clone Wars, and it's just for training. But this is still a really solid mold from Hasbro. These Battle Droids definitely hold up, the articulation is nice, and these deco hits on the joints are actually really nice and very appreciated. They definitely went and got the correct markings here, at least I'm pretty sure. I never really looked too closely at this particular Battle Droid design. But for someone maybe wanting to have a clone training display in their collection, this is the droid for them. I just personally don't think this holds much interest for me, so yeah, it's not the highlight of this review, but I just want to showcase it a little bit for y'all, in case maybe this is the highlight of the review. Maybe you clocked in only for this droid, and then you're just going to be like, oh, Clone Commandos, and click off this video. That's fine too, but yeah, I just don't have a lot of use for this guy. What I do like, though, is this, the Urban Republic Commando. This deco is one of 3 in the game, the first one just being a plain decoed commando, and then the other one being a fully camouflaged commando, and I can see why that one probably never will get made. So this one is kind of a logical choice if they were going to do a clone commando for Gaming Greats, oddly enough, but unfortunately it is still on the old Hunter mold. Now, I personally have come to rather be in a love-hate relationship with this mold of Commando. It is fine for what it is. It is a fun mold, it's very posable, it gets the details across where they should be, but of course it has some pretty glaring Clone Wars inaccuracies. Now, it has been a while since I played the games, so I can't really tell you if this is 100% accurate to every marking and deco hit for this character, but I will say it looks pretty clean. They've got the chevrons here on the pack, around the helmet, across the chest plate. The knee pads are cast in this kind of olive drab green, and you have more of those markings across the body in various places. It looks very cool, and it's a very unique commando to have in the Clone collection. But of course, just like with the Battle Droid, there's nothing new here. This is the same Clone Commando we've gotten before, the same Hunter mold, floating shoulders, good joints, leftover relics of this being a Hunter figure like the missing dagger here, And yeah, again, it's a solid enough mold. Do I wish that it was better, more bulky, more accurate to the games, more similar to this beautiful box art? Yes, absolutely. But for what it is as a Black Series toy, an action figure, I know Black Series is meant to be more detailed and accurate and all of those high quality things that we've come to expect. But let's face it, we only get those details with named characters from TV shows with all new sculpting and all of that. For what it is, I'm pretty happy with it. It'll fit in very nicely with commandos we already have, like Scorch here, and honestly, I'm a little bit tempted. I don't know if I will follow through with this, but I am at the very least tempted to get 4 of these. I don't know why, but I just see this as a squad. You know, not all squads in lore in EU and canon have different deco, like with Delta Squad. There are some that just have matching deco. And I could see it being kind of cool on the shelf having Delta Squad and then putting together a squad of these urban fighters and maybe changing some of the deco, maybe erasing some deco hits here and there on some, or adding deco hits elsewhere on others. And yeah, just having a unique squad of Republic Commandos with more matching armor, because again, I think that that's sort of a thing that we got used to with Delta Squad having such unique armor that probably most Commando squads just had matching deco, you know, the same way that most clone units do. So I could see that working pretty well. Maybe other people already have that idea. I just think that this works as a cohesive unit design. Try as I might to dislike this scrawnier Commando mold though, I think getting repaints on this mold will pretty much have me hooked for life. I just really enjoy it, it's fun to pose around, and it gets the job done for a Black Series Republic Commando. Again, I really do wish we got a more bulky design. I wish the blasters were larger. These are really undersized and cartoonish, but for what it is, I'm pretty happy, and the more I think about it, the more I do want to build out a squad of these guys, especially if they ever go on discount for any reason. It's unlikely, but you know, I might be able to pick some up for a decent price at some point. All that to say, yeah, I'm pretty pleased for what is basically your classic repaint and repack. I don't really have higher expectations than what I got. I very much knew what I was getting into with a Republic Commando repaint and a Battle Droid repaint. I can't complain. I certainly would have preferred a single carded Commando so I could just buy the ones I want of that instead of being forced to buy the training battle droid that I just really don't see the point of in Black Series. We don't have clone cadets. We don't have any real reason to want this, but I digress. We got it, and we are going to get it if we buy more of these packs. That's fine. I'm really glad that we're seeing gaming greats in any capacity as well. Like, I kind of thought that it was sort of a dying theme and we weren't going to get more of those figures. Seeing this pop up recently did, you know, kind of revamp my excitement that we might get more gaming greats in the future. For me though, this is another cool Commando in the collection. Goofy and wonky as this whole sculpt is, I still have... Get out of here. We have a new Commando in the ranks. I'm happy about it. You get a Battle Droid tossed in there as well, and you know, I feel like there's going to be a fair number of these on the market because most people really don't want this guy. They want the Commando, and that's where I'm at. I'm really happy to have this figure. I'm really glad that they did this more obscure deco. Again, I have my gripes, but I can't complain too much. I'm pretty pleased to have this in the collection. Build out a squad of them, or don't. You know, if this isn't really your speed and you prefer the more accurate game detailed figures, there's definitely a lot of 3D artists out there that could do a much better job than this, and you know, I don't fault you if you go that route. For the general consumer though, that just wants a clone trooper on their collection with unique deco, this is all you need, I guess. But anyways, that is where I'm going to wrap up this review. There isn't a lot to say, but there isn't a lot to these figures. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, have a wonderful evening, noon, or night, depending on when you're watching this video, of course. And as always, I'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.